So if no one asked you for anything, if no one needed you to do anything for them, no one needed you to run to the metro station or the grocery store, no one needed you to go pick up the kids, no one needed you to give them a ride because their car is broken down, would you still feel like you deserve to be loved? Would you still feel love? So what if the biggest change in your life is not finally learning that God loves you, but finally learning that all you have to do is live like you believe it? What would change in your life if you stopped trying to earn what God has already given you and start living like it is already yours? And here's the thing, if you truly knew that you were loved, that you were worthy, that you were chosen and enough, how would you live differently from this day forward? What kind of decisions would you make? Would you make different decisions? Would your life look different? Tell me. Hi, I'm Richard, and welcome to the Walk-In Transformation Podcast. This is where faith meets real life. Not that social media version, but the real life that you live each and every day. Now, in the last episode, we talked about the fact that you don't have to start all over again. You just have to come home, not to a physical building, but you just have to come home to yourself, to who you really, really are. And today we're going to take that one step further. Today we're going to talk about a very serious subject that most people miss. Now that you're home, how do you live like you're truly loved? You see, you don't have to prove that you're loved to anyone. You just have to learn to live from love, from worth, and from the identity that God has given you. We have this real big thing today, and it's been going on for centuries, where performance love now versus, if you will, unconditional love. You see, unconditional love was really a thing. It really was a thing, and it still is a thing. But performance-based love dwarfs that so much because we've been programmed to believe, especially young ladies, girls, we've been programmed to believe that the only way that someone is going to love us is if we are useful to them or if we're doing something for them. If somebody asks me for something and I can give it to them, oh, I love them. And we hear it all the time. If you love me, you'll do this. If you love me, you'll go there. If you love me, you won't say that. Or if you love me, you'll give me this. And that's not love. That is manipulation. And it's an unspoken language that is spoken so often that we seldom have an opportunity to address it because it catches us off guard every time. But then there's the other kind of love. Yeah, unconditional love. And first, we hear everybody talking about, oh, I just want somebody to love me unconditionally. You know, the guys, man, I just want a woman that's going to love me unconditionally for me. And the girls, I just want somebody to love me unconditionally for who I am. We all want that. But here's the thing. Nobody is practicing unconditional love. Because if we practiced unconditional love, and here comes the hard hearing, we would not try to change people's behavior. Yeah, we could help them in changing their behavior, but we would not try to change their behavior. We would not try to change the way people think, the way people see things, because that's trying to change people into something that is convenient for us. You are not a convenience for anyone. God did not make you to be a convenience for anyone. And the same applies to you. No one has been born, no one is here to be convenient for you. No one is here to get your approval to exist, to be who they are. And it's a two-way street. But here's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So many of us have forgotten what it's like just to receive love for the sake of receiving love because it's being given to us free. So that once we start getting it, it feels strange. Can you identify with that? It feels strange. And now we feel like we gotta do something to reciprocate because, I mean, they just can't show me love. And the translation is, do I really deserve that love? And yes, you do, because it's been given freely to you. So people change. People change. And this performance-based love is kind of like a chameleon, because one day, the very thing that made somebody fall deeply and madly and hopelessly in love with you will be the same thing that makes them absolutely loathe the ground you walk on. Why? Because people are fickle. We change. And received love without any stipulations is almost as rare as frog's hair, but it does exist. It is here. There are some good people out there that do understand what that concept is all about because one way or another, they've come to know the heart, the true heart of love. And again, approval changes, but God's love does not change because God is love. Now, I'm not going to get all religious here, and I don't know what religious background or beliefs you have. I'm not a religious guy at all, not at all. But I believe in the Spirit of God. I believe in God 100%, Jesus Christ and the Holy Ghost. But whatever you believe is on you. That's fine. But you must start believing that love does not cost you anything. Ashford and Simpson used to have a song out for those of you who are I'm a little bit older than y'all. As a matter of fact, I think I've trained a dinosaur or two. But Ashford and Simpson had a song out a long time ago, back in the 70s, called It Don't Cost You Nothing. And they were talking about, the two of them were talking about love doesn't cost you anything at all. Those two were so in love, and they made beautiful music. But they also had the kind of relationship that said, I'm not holding you to the standard of having to do this or having to do that for me to show me that you love me. And their love was kind of like the love that most people dream about, talk about. Now, the desire to be loved is one of the biggest human desires ever. It's one of the major human desires. It's right up there with the desire for survival. All we want to know is that we are loved, or better yet, that we belong in a community where we are loved. Most of us go all of our lives looking for that. We sacrifice ourselves. We change ourselves. We create these fictional characters to attract someone who we can love or someone who would love us. And then when we get into a situation, we find that they don't love us. They love the fictional character that you created. So no wonder you can't keep that relationship, because it's not you. It's a fictional character that you created to attract the person of your dreams. Only the person of your dreams is not the person of your dreams, because they came as a fictional character too. You see how that thing works? We attract what we think about most. So how do you fix that? Well, what you have to do is you have to actually start thinking differently. You have to start speaking to yourself differently. You have to speak to yourself in a way that tells you that you are valued, that you are loved. You have to start thinking and believing in your heart that it doesn't matter who values you or doesn't value you, who loves you or doesn't love you, because you value you. You value yourself. That's where your inner dialogue has to move to. And Mel Robbins has this wonderful practice that she does every day. I don't know if she still does it every day, but my bet would be on her doing it every day. And it's called the high five habit. And every day when she goes into the bathroom in the morning, after she wakes up and right after she brushes her teeth, and it's important that you get that part, right after she brushes her teeth, because it's called habit stacking, which is what she's doing. And it's been working amazingly for her, and it's been working for me too. But after she brushes her teeth, she would she'd lean in, look herself in the eyes, and she would say, I love you. And she would say other things to herself. Just sometimes she would say nothing. but she would just affirm either through a look or just a couple of words that she loves herself. And then she would give herself a high five right there in that mirror. Now, a lot of you are going to say, yeah, Richard, that's goofy, that's hokey. I couldn't do that. And it's going to feel really super funny. It's going to feel really funny the first times that you do it because you don't believe that you feel that way about yourself. That's why. But here's an experiment, or let me just ask you a question. When you give somebody a high five, a teammate, say you're playing basketball, or, if you're a woman, you're playing, say rugby. Let's just say that muscly woman, you love rugby. One of y'all makes a good play. You give them a high five. You can't be like, I hate you. You suck, man. Get out of here. Or girl, go somewhere. No, that's a celebration. It's a celebratory thing. So she established this high five habit and it changed her life. And if you establish that, it's going to have a positive effect on you as well. Start every morning after you've brushed your teeth in the mirror. Look into your eyes. Don't look past yourself the way that most women and men do in the morning. Women, you're normally looking for, what can I fix? What do I have to fix? Oh man, are my eyebrows, yeah, all of that stuff. Men, all we do is we just look past right through ourselves most of the time. We may be like, oh, is my mustache perfect? Do I have a straight eyebrow? But that's rare. But look right in your eyes. And if you say anything, say your name. I love you. I have always loved you. And I'm sorry if you ever thought that I did not, because it's not true. I love you. And if you don't say anything, just look for a moment in those big, beautiful eyes that you have, and then give yourself a high five. You definitely will not regret it. Now, the last question that she asked me was the kicker. That was the question of questions, and it was a beautiful question. She asked me, Richard, how do I stop confusing people's approval with God's love? And I told her that I really appreciate that question because that's one that really hits home with me. But I told her the first thing that she has to do is stop looking at herself through her eyes and start looking at herself through God's eyes. She has to start thinking of herself not through her thoughts, but through God's thoughts. And I know that in the scripture it says that, God tells us that my thoughts are higher than your thoughts. Your thoughts are not my thoughts. My ways are higher than your ways. But you have to think about yourself the way that God thinks about you. And once again, you might not even believe in God, or you might be angry at God, or whatever the case may be. I don't know what you believe in, but you have to start believing that you are worthy and capable of love, because you are. It's just that simple. You are. Because if you weren't, you would not be thinking about how do I, or what do I do to be loved, or I wish I was loved, because you have not been created with the desire that's unable to be fulfilled. So when I told her that, she was like, well, how do I do that? I told her that you do that by basically looking inside yourself for all of the answers that you need. And the first answer that you really, really, really are looking for is approval from the younger version of yourself. You see, a lot of us have abandoned the younger version of ourselves because we have become adults. And, if you're an adult, if we're adults, we can't be thinking about the younger version of ourselves. We can't be thinking about the little girl, the little boy inside that they want, our attention. We have to do grown up stuff. And that's where the problem is, because the younger version of you, that version that was filled with awe and wonder, that version that did not know the words, I can't do it. That younger version who thought that all they needed to do was just laugh and run to your arms and they didn't have to prove anything or do anything for you because they were loved. They knew it. You got to get back to that point right there. So, how do you do that? Once again, your self-dialogue, the way that you talk to yourself. It's the music that you listen to. It's the books that you read. And I'm going to go much, much further than that. It's the way that you tell people that I have a boundary there. I can't do this for you because I want to, but I can't do this for you because I have something that I must take care of that's very, very important to me. It's in the way that you diminish yourself and allow other people to shine. You dim your light so that you don't dull their light. You have to stop doing that. You have to show yourself that you are worthy of love by allowing your light to shine. You weren't given a light to put it under a bushel or a basket, like the word tells us. You were given a light to shine, because if you did not have the ability to shine your light, it would not have been given to you. You have things inside of you that are so amazing that only you can share with this world. Only you can share with this world. So for you to think that you need someone else's approval, and I'm going to bring this home, for you to think that you need someone else's approval is a smack in the face of the one who created you. Why? Because he created you with approval already built into your DNA. So who are you going to trust? Who are you going to listen to? Are you going to listen to another creation, or are you going to listen to the Creator? Because here's a simple exercise, or a simple thing that you can ask yourself just to prove that you are worthy, that you have value. First and foremost, and this is a very weird question, but if I told you that you had to go down to any stadium, any football stadium or soccer stadium in your hometown, and you had to go out and stand in the middle of the field, and there would be 70,000 people in the stands, and every one of those people are going to rush down to the field, and you had to fight each and every one at the same time, and you had to win, or else you would die. Do you think you could win that fight? Now, I'm sure 99.99% of you are saying, yeah, no, I will not win that fight, no matter how hard I fight. There's always that one person that says, well, maybe. But here's the reality. Before you even came here to this planet, before you took your first breath, that first inhale, when they smacked that little bottom, you had already won a battle so epic that it was worthy of press for 10, 20, 30 years. You had to beat multi-millions of sperm to get to an egg to fertilize it. And you did that. You did that. But that's not the end of the story. That's just half of the story. You see, because you could not just get there to the egg and just fertilize it like, oh, okay, yeah, I've gotten here, I've beaten everybody else. Now let me fertilize this thing so we can be born. No, you had to be chosen. You had to be chosen to fertilize this egg. And you were chosen. So before you came here, before you took your first breath, before you got your first glimpse of what sunlight or room light or a room or your mother's face looked like, you were already worthy. You were already valuable. So here's the thing that you need to remember. Living like you're loved looks like this. Living like you're loved changes the meaning of yes, because every choice reveals which identity you are living from, the identity of being loved or the identity of what can I do to be loved. Living like you're loved changes the meaning of yes. Living like you're loved changes the meaning of no. It changes the reason why you say no. You don't say no to be selfish. You say no because you love yourself enough to let yourself get some rest. Oh, living like you're loved changes the meaning of rest. Rest means you love yourself enough to shut it down so that you can recover from the day. Living like you're loved changes the meaning of your voice. It changes the sound of your voice. You could tell somebody no with love and compassion in your voice, and they'll feel that when you are living like you are loved because you're speaking to them from a place of love. Living like you are loved changes the meaning of your relationships. It changes the dynamics of your relationships. Now, being loved and living like you're loved does not require you to erase or diminish or dim your light. It doesn't require that. Your true identity is always going to shine through as a result of the choices that you're making. So you want to ask yourself these questions. Am I saying yes because I'm being loving? Or am I saying yes to these people or this person because I fear rejection and I don't want to be rejected or I don't want to be criticized? Am I staying quiet because I have peace? Or am I staying quiet because I fear conflict or I'm afraid to step on that person's toes and speak over them? Am I serving because I choose to serve? Or am I serving because I need to be needed by everybody? I need to feel like I'm useful, and I don't feel useful or needed unless I'm doing something to serve people. And here's another one. Here's a big one. Am I actually resting now like someone that God loves, or am I punishing myself by sacrificing rest and calling it being available for people? Being there, being dependable. Is that what I'm doing? And here's what's really uncomfortable. Knowing the answer to these things gets really uncomfortable when it costs you something. Yeah. See, loving yourself may cost you a whole lot with the people that you are being convenient for. It's going to setting boundaries is going to cost you something. Being honest with yourself and with other people is going to cost you something. Resting is going to cost you something. All of this stuff, it costs you the risk that you're going to disappoint somebody. It may cost you friendships that you thought were more than they are. It may cost you to be the cost may be criticism. But needing certainty can become a hiding place, and doing something and being certain that doing it is going to produce something back that you need from other people. Yeah, that's not going to get you where you need to be. That's not going to get you where you need to be. So what you want to remember is this: fear does not erase clarity, and you need to have clarity, the kind of clarity that says that, okay, I understand now that living loved sounds beautiful until living loved requires a no, a boundary, an honest conversation, rest, disappointing someone, releasing responsibility that was never yours in the first place, and refusing to return to the version of you that everyone else finds and found convenient. I'm going to close out with this. Romans chapter 12, verse 2 says, "And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind." And God told us that we are fearfully and wonderfully made in his likeness and image. So if we stop overgiving, if we stop overthinking, if we stop overselfing, over-serving, over-shrinking, and just be who we are to us, love us first, we will be able to be more loving to others. Always remember that. Because you've heard this, tomorrow's still going to look ordinary. Tomorrow, old expectations are still going to be waiting for you. Tomorrow, love does not remove responsibility. Responsibility is now carried from identity. And I want you to remember that worth is not a prize for perfect performance. Love is not a prize for perfect performance. You do not have to prove your worth. You do not have to prove your love. You do not have to feel it perfectly. You do not have to convince anybody else that you belong here, because you already do belong here. How do I know that? This is how I know that. Because you have always mattered. You have always been good enough. You are and have always been worthy. And because it's never too late to transform your life on purpose. So look, I'll catch you next time in the next episode. And if anything in this episode resonated with you, just the slightest bit, please share it with somebody wherever on any platform that you get your podcasts, and make sure that somebody that you know could stand to love themselves without feeling like they have to do something for everybody else to feel loved. Share this episode with them too. And make sure you like this or follow this, and turn on the notifications so that you can get notified when the next episode is available. Let's not trust the algorithm. Let's not trust an algorithm. Come on back. Follow this and hit that notification bell. Catch you in the next episode. God bless you.